I'm Vaughn Harrison with the International Sailing Academy, and I'm going to give you some pointers on how to sit downwind. The biggest thing is about being comfortable, and you want to be comfortable in a position that you can be dynamic and be able to move your body weight from side to side and fore and aft. And while doing so, we have to think what the importance of doing those movements is. Basically, accelerations, catching waves and surfing is going to happen with a changing of weight, a changing of heel angle, and adjustment of direction. So anytime that you're moving your body weight around, you're essentially looking for some sort of acceleration. So in the comfortable position where you can access both sides of the boat and fore and aft, you're also looking to achieve having two hands available for sheeting all the time and your tiller extension across, holding your tiller extension across your body or close to it. So first we're going to look at light wind downwind sailing. In light wind, you want to have your leg tucked underneath or over top and then underneath the hiking strap, so you're pulling up on the strap. And this way you can force the boat over to windward a little bit more, and that's how you get the windward heel and the rock. In light air, the same thing is you want to have your tiller and sheet really close by. Sometimes you can take it from the boom and that works as well, but basically you want everything pretty close to your chest so that sheeting is easy and quick. The actions to be thinking about sailing downwind in light air are going to be pulling the boat over top of you to windward and then slightly flattening back down, pressing into the leeward side. But most of the time your body weight's shifted to the windward side, and so you're outside of the grab rail of the boat and more onto the flat part of the deck. You can drape your front knee forward to get as much weight forward as you need, and then you're just basically pulling up on the strap from here to try to get the windward heel. And then you can use your hand on the leeward side and a little bit of your knee to flatten it when needed. Okay, let's look at medium wind. Medium wind, you can do the same thing basically with the hook strap, but you want to sit more inboard now. And it's not as comfortable when you can't be on the deck all the time, but it's something you have to get used to. What I look for here is getting the right knee as far up as possible and across. So you're trying to lock it into the corner in the front. Basically from here you're able to press to leeward and put all your weight over top of your knee, and you can transfer pretty much everything off of the windward side of the deck into the leeward rail. And that really helps in the conditions where you start to rock to catch waves with creating enough kinetics. With the tiller, it's the same thing. You want the tiller hand coming up here underneath your elbow, and that way, as you're distributing weight back and forth, you have access to your sheet with both hands. In this condition, the medium stuff, you're usually very active with your torso. So moving around, constantly pressing hard to leeward, and then pulling back to windward. And there's not so much forward and aft movement, but once it gets a little bit windier and we start to have to go back further, you're already in a position that allows you to do so. So you're fairly dynamic. In heavy wind, you can basically keep the same body positions as before, but you want to move further aft. So you can either use your knee down across the boat, about a foot back, so your aft foot is almost hitting the back of the transom, or you can do a foot up approach. From here, we're shifted further back because we start getting a lot more weather helm with having the sheet in tighter. So with that weather helm, you need to fight it by being further back. And every time that you're canceling out the weather helm with your body weight further back, you're creating acceleration in the boat. So, and balance. That's best achieved if you can be quick to move your body weight back. You can also hook your foot under the hiking strap to control that balance and bring yourself back into the boat really easily. From here, you're still like very far inside the boat. You're basically straddling the grab rail, and you're still looking to be able to press to leeward, but it doesn't need to be nearly as much, as hard or as long. You can have really short presses to leeward, and then much longer pulls back to windward, and that's where you really drive most of the balance from. So remember, no matter what position you find yourself in that's most comfortable, you need to be very dynamic and able to move across the boat with ease. And the more dynamic you can be, the more accelerations you're going to set yourself up for. And being very, very fluent with your body movements is going to make the boat easier to balance. And so you don't find like you're one step behind the boat all the time and fighting it. So another key thing to remember is just that we keep the tiller hand always in front of us, because sheeting is a pretty integral part of downwind sailing. As far as balance is concerned, it's the most important thing. And if we have two hands to be able to trim the sheet quickly, then we can make quick movements across the boat and not worry too much about having a bad consequence or losing control. Thanks for watching. I hope these tips were useful. Check us out online at internationalsailingacademy.com and book a downwind clinic where you can practice doing these positions in a variety of different conditions. See you on the water.